good morning. Oh, a very relaxed and chill and ready to go Wednesday, the hump day, right? Midweek. Are you feeling it? I woke up pretty tired this morning, but then suddenly got on fire. I say my prayers and set my intention for the day, and I was like, we got to do this. Let's get people up. Let's tell them the understanding of physical, spiritual, mental connection, and let's get a workout in. So we're going to do that. We're also going to get you updated on what's going on in the world. We've got a little news you can use. We've got some weather, talk about the unbelievable traffic going on in St. Louis. What about you? Are you in another area? Are you experiencing the same thing? It's not even summer yet, but we feel like we're right into the heart of fixing those potholes and doing construction season. Everyone I talked to yesterday said that they had issues in their drive. They were in miles worth of traffic. They were about an hour late coming home or trying to get into work. Do you experience the same thing? And what you can do, by the way, you can be our little traffic reporters around the area and let us know where we're going to run into problems. Yesterday, my assistant Jenny was trying to be a sweetheart and take my mom home on Highway 6440, and they were about a delayed an hour. My husband's coming home on 270 last night. There was a fender bender ahead, and here he had to go back into patrol mode and help the ladies. He was delayed by about an hour, so that was more traffic congestion, headaches from an accident. But other people telling me that they're trying to get around flooding, which we'll talk about in just a second. Is that still affecting you in your area, whether you're Missouri, Illinois, or where you're watching from? Let us know, because it just seems like that's the theme. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We will go a little bit more into what's going on in our world. And of course, up above, you can keep an eye to the crawl or the scroll going on in our world. We like to move around and give you from CNN, from New York Times, from Fox News. We'll check in sometimes with the market ticker for the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, see how that's looking. Anybody really getting frustrated and upset about what they're seeing in their financial investments? Again, as we mentioned, we're looking at bringing a financial advisor on to answer your questions and hopefully to calm you. Now, I wasn't looking, let me fix this for a second. I wasn't looking at my portfolio for the last couple of weeks. I did look last night, and I want to talk about this because a lot of people, again, depending on where you are age-wise and whether you are whether you are a person who is putting their money in from a moderate level, or if you're very aggressive, or hey, you're just starting out and all of a sudden you are worried, right? So we need a financial advisor to calm our fears a little bit. I did look last night, and I looked from this time last year to now. And if I was a person who would react, right? It's all that reaction aspect. If I would react quickly, I would be like, oh my gosh, pull this money out. I am exactly where I was a year ago, which means in that year's time, it looks as though I've made absolutely nothing. Other people might look at it and go, holy cow, I've lost here and there. But have we lost? Yes, if you decide to pull it out. But if you can ride it, if you can ride the storm, then no, you haven't lost anything. But that's that mindset, right? That's why I want the financial advisor to come on and take a look at that for us, because that is exactly how I feel everyone that I've been talking to has felt. Oh my gosh, I've lost. But if we leave it in, that's what I was looking at. The story is told in the ups and downs and how suddenly we get past that. Everybody's talking about a recession, but we've been through those before, and then we come out stronger. And I know that's the hardest thing in the divide of the country right now, is people are talking about, well, what do we do with this? Are we going to get into a bear market, a bull market? Again, I want to talk to a financial advisor. So I've got Jenny and my friend Dot behind the scenes. Ladies, make it happen. It is much, much needed at this time more than ever, because we want to keep our economy strong, by the way. Okay. So I wanted to start off with that. I just want to calm people a little bit. We're going to give you some weather. As I said, if you're outside of our immediate area, then let us know how things are looking where you are. If you're sitting by a beach, please show me some pictures, because I could use that right now. For today, we are looking for a high of 68. Now, you do have a 30% chance of thunder showers. Tomorrow, a 50% chance. And again, 68 for a high, down into the mid to upper 40s. As we go into the weekend, Friday looks really pretty, 58. And then we got a Cardinals game back in town with a low of 40. Saturday and Sunday, Cards are in action. By the way, Sunday, St. Louis City SC also in action. Beautiful weekend, though. I mean, look at that as we go into Palm Sunday. 64 on Saturday, mid 70s on Sunday. Here's what I'm thinking. Go to church and then go to brunch. That is my deal that I have on my calendar. That is what I'm planning. And then Monday, we get into a slight chance of a brief rain. 77, though, getting warmer for a high. Tuesday, 67. Wednesday, 66. And then we get into Thursday and Friday with, again, just slight chances of rain. We'll see if those numbers change at all as we get into, next week. We'll check in with Beckett and see what he has to say. He will be on with us, by the way, on Friday. All right. If you're just tuning in, we're going to give you some national news. We'll give you some local and regional news. Again, I always like that when we give you these things, if you feel compelled to talk about it, that's what the community is here for, because people will weigh in and say, yes, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I got stuck in. A lot of you probably dealing with this. So if you have been stuck in traffic, please let me know where and how long. Flooding is one of the issues. Pothole repairs is another. Of course, accidents are always going to be there, and I don't care whether you're in our immediate area or where you are, but is the flood water bothering you to the effect that you're having to completely find routes you've never driven on before? Highway 141 and 44 in our area disrupting not only traffic, but businesses and causing traffic headaches as well, because some businesses are saying they are losing business because people can't get to them, or they do not want to try to get around all the problems and deal with all the headaches. So they just bypass it altogether. Obviously, that's going to be a bad thing the longer this takes for it to recede. So let me know if you've been running into those types of problems, where it is, and maybe you can help others avoid it, which would be fantastic. Let me look at real quick the comments coming in for this morning. Jenny, good morning to you. Kathleen, good morning. Linda, good morning. Rainy, dark morning in Wentzville. Oh, so it's cloudy here. Hasn't rained here yet. Thanks so much, Jenny. Good morning. All right. So we've got a scammer that I'm sure Jenny's probably taken care of by now, but still popping up on my screen, evidently from YouTube. And I was told one time, don't worry about it, Monica. We don't call them out because that's really all they want. And they also want you to try to click on their links. Let me say this from the beginning. Never click on a link in something that you see in a comment. It will never be us. It's not us. It's those scammers who are trying to take advantage of the amount of viewers that we have, all the people in the community that are so unbelievably positive. It's not happening, folks. So good luck. Go on your way. Rose woke up with a beautiful morning sunrise at Clearwater Lake in Missouri. Beautiful, but my arms are flabby. So let's go. We got it for you. Hang on tight. We got it. We're going to get rid of those bat wings. We're going to get rid of, Jenny said that she called them trucker arms. Whatever it is, people say they don't like when their arms continue to wave. And for those grandkids and young kids that say, and pull on, I've heard this from so many women and men, they're kids, they don't mean anything, but they'll pull on their arms and go, what's this, Grandma? Has that been you? If so, we'll get to that in just a second. If you haven't heard, this is the latest from the election that took place yesterday. Kara Spencer defeating Tashara Jones in the St. Louis mayor's race. Alderwoman Kara Spencer defeating incumbent Tashara Jones. Spencer, who actually has served on the board of aldermen since 2015, she will be the city's third consecutive female mayor after Lyda Cruzen and Tashara Jones. She came in first in the ranked choice primary back in March, with 68% of voters selecting her on their ballots. Tashara received 33%, with many voters selecting both of them to advance to the general election. The final totals last night were similar. Spencer winning, look at that, just over 64% of the vote, with Tashara at 36%. But one thing I do want to note, if you saw any of the coverage or any of the news, did you get a chance to see her celebration speech? Because I want you to look for this. This is what was funny. She obviously, as you can see in that one picture, she's got a glass of wine in her hand. Looks like a glass of white. By the way, we got White Whistle Wednesday, so stay tuned for that later this afternoon at 4 o'clock. We're going to talk about a Washington red blend. Hers was white. That was her choice. I was looking at X last night, and I was cracking up. So you got to find these videos of her obviously in her celebratory mood, but at one point somebody shouts something, she pumps her fist in the air, and all of a sudden she goes like this and she's dancing, and you can see she's just in her real element. But all the comments, people were saying that it reminded them of Elaine Bennis on Seinfeld and her dance moves. You got to check it out. So I guarantee it's on social media somewhere. The other big story, and there's a lot of election news, so I'm going to have you seek it out. I'm just giving you a couple of the big things. Donna Behringer unseated a 30-year incumbent. This is big news, folks. Behringer defeated Darlene Green in the race for St. Louis comptroller. The city comptroller is the city's chief financial officer, and Donna Behringer previously served as a state rep and a city alderwoman. Green was appointed as comptroller, get this, in 1995 when Vervis Jones resigned after pleading guilty. Do you remember this, or have you heard about this? To tax charges. So congratulations to Donna Behringer, but holy cow, 30 years. That is an unbelievably long run. All right. In other news, this is from a national standpoint, and we were just talking about this over the last couple of days. Are you getting a little unnerved? Are you getting worried? Again, this goes into the financial side. China is now raising their retaliatory tariff on the U.S. to 84%, up from 34%, and that will be effective April 10th. Last week, China said it would levy the 34% on all U.S. goods. And then today, Trump's tariffs of 104% went into effect on Chinese exports to the United States. And so again, many people, I would highly recommend that you don't do what I did last night. Don't look at your portfolio, because you're just going to get frustrated of where it is right now. Or you're saying it's time for me to buy because it's low and it'll bounce back. Whatever it may be, my recommendation, I'm not a financial advisor, but my recommendation is don't look at it just yet. If you are a music fan, here's the lineup announced for the Whitaker Music Festival. Any of you go to this in our immediate area or otherwise? I love bringing tourism in. Come to the Missouri Botanical Garden. It is just absolutely, first of all, one of the most beautiful places that we have, and one of the most cherished summer traditions in St. Louis is the Whitaker Musical Festival. And so the 2025 version has been announced. The Open Air Festival features a wide array of musical styles beginning at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, May 28th through July 30th at the Garden's Amphitheater. Admission, by the way, to the Garden, free after 5 p.m. on performance evenings. So for all of you that say, I'm trying to save money, I can't go to this, I can't go to that, I'm going to start finding things that are absolutely free for you to go to. So mark this on the calendar. May 28th, they open up with the Vince Martin Band. June 4th is Manos Panamerica. June 11th, Star Roscoe. June 18th, the Steve Ewing Band, who we love and's been on our show, of course. June 29th, this is another great band, Funky Butt Brass Band. July 2nd is St. Chuck. Jig Jam is July 9th. Dawn Weber, oh, she's good. And Dawn Weber and Good Company, July 16th. Telestar is July 23rd. And then on July 30th, it's Carla Harris Quintet. Not only do I love that one, but do any of you get a chance to go to the music festival that they have that is right there by the History Museum? It's right there on the lawn, by the way. Another free event. So we're looking forward to a lot of those. And if there's any big event that you absolutely love, just pass those along to me as well. And good morning. I ran into traffic jam on Monday night on my way to our workout. Had to go home and work out on Zoom. Little heavier traffic on the way to work and back home. Yeah, be safe, everyone. As we mentioned, whether it is due to flooding, a lot of people still affected by that, or it's the potholes. Linda, how about the guy in the background of her speech? Oh, I didn't see this one. He was stuffing his face and his cheeks were full. I bet he didn't expect to get caught. I didn't see that. I just loved Kara Spencer and her reaction and her dance. Again, she probably tipped back a few. All right, folks. I'm going to send this over to Jenny because she's got to give you the actual video of this. I grabbed a couple of snapshots, and from some copyright aspects, not always sure what we can and can't show on our show. But these pallbearers fell into a burial hole after the grave platform collapsed. I'm going to stay on this picture for just a second. I've got a couple of questions here. First of all, in the picture on the left, do you see the person with the cell phone in their hand? Okay, let me ask you, how many of you are at a funeral, and especially when it goes to the burial aspect in the ground, how many of you filmed that? I've never filmed at a funeral before, except for when the bugler has played, taps, okay? But going into the ground, I don't know. That's the first thing that caught my attention. I thought that was a little strange, but we are in a very different world these days. Then they're walking over with the casket, and then the ground completely collapses. And you can see on the picture on the right, they are falling into the grave. How horrific is that? So I just sent the link to Jenny. I'm going to have Jenny put it into the comments. So for all of you, keep an eye to the comments. She's going to drop it in for you, and you're going to see this all unfold. I pulled this from our friends over at KMOV. Can you imagine being there? I mean, first of all, you're so emotional because you've lost your loved one, and then you see this happen. Then you're hoping that they're all okay, which I don't know if they were or not. But then it's just your emotions are up and down when you are at that final part of saying goodbye to your loved one. Yeah, anyway, Jenny's going to drop that in for you. I just sent that over to her. All right, in sports news, before we get to what Carrie Ginther is wanting today. Carrie just signed on. Good morning. Today's for you. And those bad arms, getting rid of them for you. The Blues and the Edmonton Oilers tonight, the face-off. It's a late one. It will be at 9 p.m. and we've got the Cardinals in action. They're in Pittsburgh against the Pirates. This is an 11:35 game. It's the Phillies and the Cardinals then on Friday. As we mentioned, they're coming back home. That game is in the evening, and then on Saturday, it's an afternoon game against the Phillies as well. In news around the world from a national standpoint, today, National Unicorn Day. How many of you have kids or grandkids that have unicorns in their rooms, that they want a unicorn room? National Library Outreach Day, National Former Prisoner of War Recognition Day. It's National Education and Sharing Day, and also National Chinese Almond Cookie Day, National Winston Churchill Day, and then National Name Yourself Day. Okay, you want to know a little bit more about the person that you watch every morning? The real story behind naming and myself. When I was a little kid, I don't know if I've told this story on the show before. When I was a little girl, I did not want to be Monica Lynn. That is my middle name, okay, Monica Lynn. So my mom would hear it over and over again when I was younger. Finally, she gave in and she said, "Fine, Monica, what do you want your name to be?" And I said, "Monique. I want to be Monique," right? I think back then I was very much into fashion and an actress and the singer. And then she's like, "You would be Monique Lynn?" And I said, "Oh no, that would have to change too, Mom." So she said, "What do you want your middle name to be?" And I said, "Monique Renee," right? It just sounded elegant to me and sounded like Hollywood, I think. So when I get married and you get a chance to change your name, obviously to your married name, I go in and I said, "Jim, I could change my name right now. I could be Monique." And he's like, "Honey, you're not changing your name to Monique. You're not becoming Monique." But he came back and said that the pronunciation of our last name, my last name is Quentin now. That's my married name. But when you go to the origination of your name from, it has the deep origination roots back to France. He said it's actually pronounced Contine. And all of a sudden I went back to when I was younger and I was like, can you imagine my name would have been Monique Renee Contine? That sounds like a designer's name, doesn't it, folks? So feel free to drop in comments about anything that you ever wanted to be. You wanted to have another alias, or you want somebody to call you something else. There's still a lot of people, right? They have their name, but they're like, "Call us this," or "Here's my nickname," and I go by my nickname. So yeah, I would be Monique Renee Contine in my design fashion world. It's another life, right? Linda, maybe they were filming for someone who couldn't make it to the service. All right, that could be happen. I've never seen that before. Okay, so Jenny, National Name Yourself Day. Yes, Jenny, just if you didn't get a chance to see it, it is in the comments. So click on it, see it. Horrific, right? Feel free to make any comments that you want to. But that's how you are now up to date on the things that I think you might talk about, some news you can use around the world. And then that truly is one of those water cooler talking stories of, holy cow, did you see what happened at this burial? All right, for all of you that are waiting for the workout, we're going to get to it. We're going to take our quick break. And when we come back, as I wave to you, I don't want this to continue to wave. So how do we work the triceps? We've got it for you, Carrie and everybody else. Grab your dumbbells, grab a kettlebell, grab some resistance bands. If you don't have anything at all, we're going to show you some moves you can also do when you have literally not one weight at your home. Also, the ability to do it at your home and not have to get to a gym. Don't go anywhere.
Carroll House has the furniture you're dreaming of.
For big family gatherings, for entertaining friends, or just hanging out.
For working from home or resting after work.
For kids growing up or young adults moving out.
Whether you're updating your first home, your next home, or your dream home.
Whatever the reason you're shopping, we have the furniture you're dreaming of at Carroll House.
Because you like nice things.
being on this show with Monica created such a heart-centric experience. I feel elevated. I feel more in tune, more connected with people. I really enjoyed how Monica brings in the audience and how Monica's viewers are just incredibly engaged. And so it actually creates this community and a conversation that is so enjoyable. You can see, Monica get excited. And then as her guest, I was getting excited. And then more and more comments were coming in from Monica's incredible, loyal audience. And it just created this uplifting feeling to start your day. So much of our news is negative. So much of what we're allowing to enter into our brains through our TVs, through our radios, through social media is negative. And what is refreshing for me in joining Monica on her incredible show is just the focus on the positivity. It is an honor to be on the Monica Adams, the real Monica Adams show, and also to just be able to engage with Monica's audience, because this community is full of love and full of people who want to help each other.
Well, thank you, Stephanie Seek. If you didn't see her show with us, definitely need to check that out. She was a fabulous guest, and she is a love and life coach. All right, what you're seeing on the screen is one of our collaborations, and we always want to thank those that are sponsors of ours, whether they are on with us on a regular basis or they team up with us, like the Wine Girl. ShopWineGirl.com, by the way, is where you can go. If you are in Scottsdale or you are in Napa, you can actually check them out in person, but you get a discount because you watch The Real Monica Adams Show. So if you're looking for a hat, like I love my hats today, I'll tell you about my hat in just a second. Or they've got these really cool new t-shirts, still a little chilly though, so you might need some sweatshirts. Check out ShopWineGirl.com, and at the end, when you have put everything into your cart, make sure that you use the discount, The Real Monica Adams. All right. So thank you again for watching us on a regular basis. I want to tell you about some mobile Monicas coming up, and we've got a bunch that I just added to the calendar last night, but this one's on there already. June 21st, we are going to be with Rich Melching, who has been a viewer of this show from day one. He has the 3rd annual Dudes Playground Poker Run, and that's coming up on June 21st. Mark it on the calendar, and please do me a favor, start sharing it all over the place. We want to help our veterans. We want to have a good time together. Rose just said breaking news, which made me crack up. She just said that today is National Monica Maniacs Day. International. Oh, flash news just came in. It's International Monica Maniacs Day. You're so cool. You're so funny. Dwayne, you just made my granddaughter's day with Unicorn Day. I love that. By the way, Dwayne, where are you watching from? I don't think I've spoken with you before. Everyone's names are unique and it fits them. Yep. Good morning, everyone. So for all of you maniacs, Rose, come to this. All vehicles are involved. I don't care what vehicle you have or what motorcycle you have. It is all vehicles, $10 per poker hand, a 50-50, free food, free entertainment, sparkler display at 9:15 in the evening, and it's going to be an amazing time. I want to thank my dear friend who owns Trattoria Giuseppe. He has the most incredible food, and he is donating for us so that you have the food to come back after you go to the poker run. So we're helping our disabled veterans, this respite at Dude's Playground, where you can go, you can do some fishing and just camaraderie with those who get it, those who understand. So that's coming up for you on June 21st. We have some other ones, though, that we have secured. There was a lot going on last night. I was up until 11 o'clock. I did not want to wake my team up. So yes, breaking news for Michelle. Michelle's used to doing things on my website, but guess who figured it out? Because I needed to put some things on for you to know about for today. A couple of things, a handful of things. And I had a person reach out to me that wanted to do life coaching, and I needed to switch that around a little bit. If you don't know, we do life coaching, personal training, emceeing, auctioneering, design and wardrobe consulting. The brand has a lot to it. Obviously, from a personal trainer standpoint, we take care of you as well on the show and then in person with one-on-one training, with semi-private training, with classes, all these things that I love that we can do for you. Michelle said, I hope I can make the poker one. Well, I hope so as well. You've known about it for a while. I love my Corks Or for Quitters sweatshirt. She said it's so soft and comfy. Michelle, good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day. Richard, Dos Amigos will be supplying the entertainment. Thank you for letting me know that, from 5:30 p.m. until 10 p.m. I have not seen that, but I love that. Thank you so much. We're planning on going, Julie says. Save the date. Thank you, Jenny. So she's got that in there for you. I also want you to save the date for this one. Our dear friend, as you have probably heard by now, Brian McKenna, passed away, and they are putting a bunch of plans in place for this huge day that is coming up on May 31st, 2 to 7 p.m. It's Brian McKenna Day. It's a celebration of the life of one of the most incredible people we've ever known, not just here in St. Louis, but in the sports world. He was known all over in his broadcasting. If you have questions, you want to help out, you want to volunteer, donations, reach out to brianmckennaday@gmail.com. And we're going to see the streets from Macklin, from Devonshire to Nottingham. That's a day I don't want you to care about traffic, because you're going to park somewhere else. You're going to walk. People are going to flood Francis Park and have an amazing time together. So a handful of things for you to know about. We also added some mobile Monicas. We have confirmed that May 17th, we are going to be at Weingarten Vineyard. So I want you to mark the calendar for that one right now. We are going to have an amazing time. I have so many meetings today. It's absolutely ridiculous. No one's going to be able to get a hold of me. I told Jenny, don't try to contact me, because you won't be able to, except for maybe late this evening. But Joe, thank you so much. Joe Thomaser from Weingarten Vineyards. Thank you for securing that. And we'll hop on that call today. But if you have not been, that is going to take place at noon, May 17th. That one's a done deal. And then we turn around on May 21st, and we're going to be live at 8 a.m. in the morning at Osiris Medical Spa. So those are coming up for you. And then we've got other ones that we are working on as well that we'll be dropping in. But those are now added to the calendar. Check out the calendar of events and come see us. Okay, it is straight 7:28. We're going to take our final mid break, and our last half hour is all going to be your workout. So if you want to put your watches on to see how many calories you burn, etc., put them on. Put it on maybe traditional or other, something like that. Let's see how many calories you burn. That's what I want to know. Do the workout with us, coming up in just a couple of minutes. This is my wonderful role model, one of my best friends.
She's, oh my gosh, you got a long life. You could probably live to be 130 or something. And I said, oh God, I hope not.
It's getting hot in here. Don't take off all your clothes.
I'm not going to take off my clothes. On the radio tape, going to
Kansas City, Kansas City, here I come. We're going to spank, we're going to speak. We're not going to spank anybody. We're going to speak about knowing your value. And then I'm going to
I'm going to spank them.
If you don't know your value and you don't grab hold of how important you are, I'm going to spank you. Folks, you never know what you're going to get with her. Boy, isn't that true? And let me just prepare you. You have no idea what's coming for tomorrow. So Mom is joining me tomorrow on a brand new segment. Eventually, we're going to push it into Fridays. It's going to be Fashion and Food Fridays. And I really believe this one's going to stick. We're going to get chefs and restaurant owners from all around our area and maybe even bring them in. We've got some celebrity chefs that come in town sometimes. If we get a chance to bring them in as well, or a favorite recipe passed down from your families, your grandparents, your parents. You're cooking right now. You're the amazing cook and you're getting your kids involved or your grandkids involved. Let me know if there's a recipe that you would like for us to tackle. My team, my friends, my family. If there's a chef you want us to have on, let me know all those things as well. Yeah, Michelle, look at me, right? I had to look at the laptop version as well as the mobile version, making sure that it all looked okay, put all the locations in, etc. So trying to take some things off Michelle's plate as well. Rose, there you go. See, Rose said she missed you, Michelle. Rich, we have a save the date for a wedding. If we do make it, we will most likely bring one of our side-by-sides. Very cool. Again, all vehicles are welcome. So excited for our event coming up June 21st at Dude's Playground for sure. Okay, you've been waiting. Carrie is the one that wanted to know more about how to get rid of the waving arms, okay? The toning of the arms. A lot of women, they're looking at sleeveless dresses, right? They want to wear sleeveless tops and blouses, but then they get shy and they want to do everything like this and cover up their arms. I don't want you to cover up. I want you to be really proud. I want you to wear the cap sleeve or the sleeveless or the beautiful open neck and back. I want to tone that area for you. For men, when you are by the pool, I want you to be proud. So this is for men and women alike. This is for younger as well as our seniors. I don't care who you are. I've got something for everyone. And while I'm doing this, I want you to drop in any questions or comments. I'll keep bopping back to the screen and making sure that I don't miss anybody that may have a question. Faith just joined us on Instagram. Great show. My son renamed himself Larry at the age of 14. We were getting mail addressed to Larry Burger for 2 years. That goes back to, if you're just tuning in earlier, we said National Name Yourself Day. So you know what? Do me a favor, drop in. If you wanted to be named something, or right now, since today is National Name Yourself Day, what would you change your name to? Okay, that's funny, by the way. You're like, who the heck is Larry? All right, I'm going to step away from this. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. Let me grab my dumbbell because I do want those of you that cannot get up out of a chair. I'm always cognizant of people who have injuries, or maybe they are in wheelchairs, or they just came back from a surgery and they're like, well, hey, don't forget about me. I want to work out as well. Let me grab my dumbbell here. So it's your time. Okay. Let me take my wedding ring off. My husband's always saying, don't mess up your wedding ring, Monica. So take your jewelry off, or you don't have to. You do you. Jim's right here saying, take your jewelry off, Monica. So grab your dumbbell, grab your kettlebell, grab a resistance band, whatever you have. Carrie just said, bingo. Bingo wings. Michelle, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock. You can't steal that one. Somebody already has that name from Friends. You know, if you know, you know. Okay. All right. Got all the comments in place. As we do this, we'll also let you know about just a handful of things and thanking our sponsors. Some new ones coming on. Manifesting, another one right here. Yep, we'll tell you more about that. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. So if you have a dumbbell, you can grab the dumbbell and I want you to hold it up and down. So vertical. Carrie, I hope you're doing this with us right now. If you can't do it right now, you can grab this and you can do this later on in the day. But I want you to hold it like this. Okay, so you're going to form this with your hands. For those of you that are at home, you're going to form this, and that's going to go around the head of the dumbbell. So you're like this, and your elbows. This is very key, so that you're not using so much of your shoulders and you're not bending into the exercise. I want you to hold it like this and engage the core. Okay, thanks, Carrie. You're going to go like this and pull it in, and then you're going to go straight up and back down, straight up and back down. I'm going to tell you, we're going to do 15 together. All right, let's do this. So we're going to work out for the next 20 minutes. Ready? So up and down, I'm going to talk to you while I'm doing this. And I'm also going to show you some different views. And hopefully you hear me okay. I'm just a little bit off mic. So there's 3. I want you to breathe. 4. What I don't want you to do is rock or pull your head forward. If you start pulling your head forward, that's going to cause a problem with your cervical area, with your neck. All right, so we're here. And straight up, 8, straight up, 9, 10, 5 more, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, let me show you something real quick and get a little closer here, and let's talk about this. Let me pull this banner off the screen for you. Thanking our sponsors. Again, thank you to Dot Fleshman, Coldwell Banker, Gundaker, Realtor, Defiance Ridge Vineyards, as well as Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa. We couldn't do it without all of you, and then all of you that book our mobile Monicas. We were able to do this show thanks to them. Let me show you that side view. So here's the thing where I see a lot of people go wrong. They go like this, and they're pulling their head forward. So look at alignment. Alignment is so key in every workout. So we want to be like this. Breathing as you go up. 4, 5, and you can do this at your desk. I'm at my desk right now. So for those of you that need a little break and you're doing your work and you're like, you know what, I need to open up. And by the way, this stretch feels amazing in that upper back region that might be carrying a bunch of tension. 14 and 15. So I like that 15, 20, 25 rep range. If you have like a lighter to a moderate weight, this is a 10-pound weight. So this isn't too awfully heavy. I usually would probably have like a 15 or a 20. I used to do 25. I'm not lifting as heavy as I used to, just trying to protect right in the cervical area. and in my upper neck, in my upper back, all of that. But what I don't want happening, because you end up using your shoulders too much, is this. See this opening here? You don't want to see this. You don't want to be going like this, because first of all, people have a tendency to rock too much. They also have a tendency to start using the neck and the upper back and the shoulders when we're trying to do the concentration on the triceps. Specifically, that's what Carrie asked for. And again, I ask you, what can I do for you? So today is all about Carrie and all of you, not just for Carrie, right? But where Carrie's the one that asked, this is for your triceps. Carrie, by the way, as you're doing this, and everybody else, do you feel it? So look at, this is the area that we're working. So there's 3 heads, right? Tri, it's triple, right? You think of bi is 2. Biceps is here, the front of our arms, which we want to concentrate on every aspect of it. So we're today, because she asked, Carrie wanted us to focus on the triceps. So this is my 3rd set. I like doing 3 sets. So concentrating. Yes, today, or I should say right now, I am sitting down. Do I have to stay seated? No. And let me give you another view of this, because I do have another camera set up for you. So we'll go here. There's the other one, if I can get into the picture. You can see from the tricep on the side. There we go. So here's my forward view. You can see a little bit of the side view here, doubling up. I'm doing 15 reps, but you do you. And if you want to go heavier with the weight that you're using, go ahead. I'm doing kind of a moderate weight here. Let's go 9. Let's go 10. And obviously we can stand up with this. We can raise a leg up. We can level up, and we can bring it down to a modification. So we just did 3 sets of 15 reps in an overhead dumbbell extension. Okay, so we're coming up. So what were the no-nos? If we're really paying attention, what were the no-nos, folks? What did I ask you not to do? So if you just put that weight down, type in for me. What do you want to not do when you're doing that exercise? And what do you really want to focus on? If I wanted to stand up, let me bring my other camera into place, and I'll go over to that one. If I wanted to stand and get some core training, or I'll even show you the leveling up of the balance aspect side. Okay, let me go over to this one. So I'm going to stand here, watch and do. So if I want to raise a leg and balance and then do it, it's a whole nother level, right? A whole nother level of hardness. So people who do not have good balance, I'm going to tell them not to do that. I'm sitting in an office chair right now. So when people give me excuses and say, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can do it from anywhere. This is a rolling chair. I'm going to get another thing of advice of try not to be in a rolling chair, because I don't want it rolling from underneath you. I'd rather you, if you have no one here at home, right? I'm using what I can in this office space without a big team around me. So we're being real. If I was in a gym, I would sit on my bench or I'd stand up. I like to stand. I like to use as many core muscles as I possibly can, but I want to show you things that everyone can do. So you could be seated on a bench. You could be seated in a chair, make it a sturdy chair, maybe make it up against the wall so it's not moving on you. Take care of each other. And if you've got, maybe grandma wants to work out with you, give her a weight. But don't limit, this is the biggest thing I can say from a senior standpoint, don't limit the weight that they use. Start with them or get a personal trainer like myself or someone that you really trust, and then we'll take them through that. I'm going to tell you right now, when I trained those seniors at Friendship Village, they would think that they could only use 1 or 2 or 3 pounds. And I got them using 5 and then 7 and then 10. That was a 10 right there that I was using. And I've got your grandma and grandpa using that. So don't think they can't. You see these TikTok and Instagram videos of grandmas and grandpas doing deadlifts and they're in the gym on a squat rack. That's right. Don't limit their ability. Carrie, don't lean your head forward. Amen. I said, what were we wanting to not do and what were we wanting to do? Rose, do not slope or drop the head. You'll hurt your cervical area. Don't put your elbows out. Thank you. C, to work on balance also. Yes, Balance is also something you want to do. So when you work on balance, and if you have really bad balance, hold on to something and then raise a leg. And then little by little, you're trying to release the hands. Can you hold that? You're going to have better balance, by the way, when you work on your ankle stability, your knees, your hips, your core control. So if you're just tuning in, good morning, 7:41. We're going to show some triceps. Okay. We're going to go back to a standing aspect, and I'm going to do a single movement for you. Oh, I just gave myself a thumbs up. I love these things. Okay. Actually, so I can get in the camera frame. And let me bring my microphone over here. How about this one? So if you want to work on some core, Carrie, go down to the ground with me if you can. For those of you that can't, I just showed you that you can do this same thing seated in the chair. But you can see I've got an office chair. So I don't recommend that because you're moving around a lot. So how about this one? So you're kneeling down. So now I am using a little bit more core. Okay. And then you're going to do a single arm raise. Let me do this so you can hear me. Single arm raise over the top. And we're going to form that 90-degree right angle. So here's 3. I've got one leg in the air. 4, I should say one leg that is bent and then one leg behind me. 7, 8. Where am I breathing out, by the way? 9, up here. 10. We're going to do 15. I told you I like that 15 number. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. If you're just tuning in and you're like, hey, what's Monica doing? Carrie is asking us to focus on our triceps. And we're doing a little tricep work for you. So we did the news you could use already. We talked about some weather. We talked about some crazy stories about somebody falling into a grave, pallbearers. That was nuts. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2 more, 14. Questions on any of this, let me know. 15, again, that is kneeling down. If I adjust my camera angle a little bit, you do this standing up. So here you go in an upper stance. And Carrie, you were talking about, let me bring it down a little bit. You were talking about wanting to work on balance at the same time and core. So do this for me. I'm going to put my right foot down. We're going to do our second set. Let me switch microphone and do my right side first. So actually, let's put our left foot down. Left foot down. My right knee is going to come in the air. This is going to be a lot more difficult. So this is our leveling up version. So find your core control and balance first. You've got to go much slower, as you can see. We're coming over the top of the head. Just like I said on the previous exercise, don't bend that head forward. Here's 7. This is not easy for a lot of people. 8, 9. The higher I raise the leg, even more difficult. 10, 11, and the microphone. 12, splitting my brain and counting. There's a lot going on here. 14 and 15. Are you getting a little out of breath? What weight are you using, by the way? Any questions that you have? Yes, we take care of you physically, spiritually, mentally. Rose, I'll come back to your question in just a second, or your comment. Right leg is now what I'm going to go on. I'm going to pull this down a little bit more so you can see that. Mainly, I always want you to see what I'm doing overhead. So right foot's down, left knee in the air, and over the top of our head we go. So you can see what's going on with my leg. You're missing the upper part, which I'll show you in just a second. But see, the higher I bring it, the more it throws my balance off. So there's 5 for you, and there I go. See? So we're going to have to tighten up the core, and then you tighten up the obliques a little bit more. Here's the upper version for you. So that was 5. Pulling that knee up again. 6, 7, 8. You can hear my breathing again. 9. We're getting a little higher in our calorie burn. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we could do it on our knees. We can do it standing. We can do the elevation of the leg. Now let me come back to you on camera seated. So for those of you that say, hey, I can't do that, I need to stay in my chair. Well, come on back to your chair, because I said I like to do 3 sets. So now here we are in the chair. I'm going to move it back a little bit. Core control. I still want you to be upright. So it's the biggest thing. And I think you can really help your parents and your grandparents as they oftentimes will start to slouch. So one of the biggest things I would do with seniors before we would ever start the workout would be to put them in with their walkers. We would walk together and I would say, chest up, shoulders back. And then we would eventually be able to get them onto a treadmill. Once they were on the treadmill, holding on to the handle of the treadmill at a very low rate, speed wise, we would focus and hyper focus on not letting the sloping happen, especially when you start talking about osteopenia and osteoporosis. As we age and our bones become brittle, you don't want more and more and more of that sloping, because suddenly that's how the posture becomes and the spine starts to roll in. So you're trying to prevent that. So at a younger age, be very aware, very cognizant of keeping the chest upright, the shoulders back, the core engaged. I tell everybody, like a corset, I want you to suck all that in. I want you to drive inward. I want you to feel those obliques. They're like little fingers, internal, external obliques wrapping up around the back. I want you to pull that all in, engage, use the core on every single move that you do. So now we're seated. Then if you're just tuning in here towards the last 15 minutes of the show, we are doing on Wednesdays, workout and wellness Wednesdays from the house in gyms. We take the show out, manifesting. Just putting it out there, folks. As we do our sponsor meetings. This is a new place coming into town, by the way. Here it is. 1, let me back up. 2, okay? What am I doing again? Engaging my core, putting my corset on. I am keeping alignment. 7, drawing the navel in, acting like the navel is attaching to the spine. Okay, let's go 5 more. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I'm going to switch to the other side. Do this with me or do it later. So we're getting this in place. Here's that angle I'm talking about. So we're all about angles in the gym. 1 or at your house, wherever you're working out from. By the way, did you used to watch these when I was on Channel 5? This is what I want to do again. We're going to bring these popular segments that we did in broadcasting days back with you and then incorporate new ones. 9, I'm going to show you all the way up. 10, there we go, good view. 11, 12, 13, draw this in, 14, and 15. So what are we not wanting to do? Same thing you all said before. Don't poke the head forward. Don't lean into that. Don't roll the spine. So here's your side view. You're here, okay? Right over the head. Look at the line. Right alongside me. Don't do this. You don't want to punch out towards the wall. So this is a no-no. Swinging that out, hurting the shoulder. This is correct. Keep it right alongside you. There's that alignment. Real close to the ear is what I always ask for. So Rose, how often should we do these? Every day? No. So we want to give the muscles a rest. Great question, by the way. Any questions that you have, drop them into me. A little out of breath. So you got to figure out and be realistic, Rose. Great question. How many days per week are you going to devote to your training? A lot of people will say, I'm going to do 3, Monica. And that is very realistic. You can definitely devote 3 days a week to your training. And then maybe sometimes it's like, wow, I'm really loving this. I'm going to bump it up to 4. And we start changing things around. So I'm just giving you some overall rules here. And as I say this, let me stress, if you've got an injury, you got an illness, whatever, disease, please check with your doctor before you do any type of a training program. So I'm showing you moves. Carrie asked me to get rid of the bat wings, bye-bye trucker arms, whatever you want to say. You need to make sure that if you're working through an injury, that your personal trainer or your doctor, your orthopedic doctor, whatever, is okay with you doing these. So don't just jump into something if you've got, I don't know you, right? So I don't know if there's any complications that we're working through. So let me just say that. But if you've got a clean bill of health, doctor says do it. Take some advice from Monica, hire her as your trainer, whatever it may be. Let's go together and get you toned and get you to your goals. So Rose, if I'm just meeting you for the first time and you got that clean bill of health and I say, what are we going to do? 3 days a week training? Fantastic. I like to split it up like this. I like to do chest and triceps together. This is really old school that we've carried forward and modernized. So we call those push days. Okay, that's what they call them now. It used to just be that we would do pairings of chest and triceps. And then we would do another day of back and biceps. So maybe you separate it by a Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday, and then maybe you're walking and getting outside in nature and doing cardiovascular or stretching, yoga, those type of things. I would consider that also still training. So I would say you're doing more than 3 days a week. But if you're talking about 3 days of dedicated resistance training workouts, I would do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you would do chest and triceps Monday, maybe back and biceps Wednesday. Friday, you're going to get to legs. I used to do legs and shoulders together. I'm also, though, adding in abdominal training and core training on those days. So we'll do plank work, we'll do down on the mat or standing core work, abdominal work. So no, you are not going to do triceps Monday and Wednesday and Friday. You've got to work the other parts of the body. Does that answer the question, Rose? I hope, especially when you start this. Some of you might be doing this today and going, holy cow, I'm a little sore. Well, good. And then you got to give those muscles time to repair. The little fibers, the muscles, they will tear. It's what's supposed to happen. And then they grow and then they define. That's what training is all about. And for those of you that have never incorporated resistance training before, you need to start doing that. It's very important. If you are just tuning in, we're covering the triceps. Now, some of you are going to say, well, I don't have anything at all. For those of you that say that, you can't give up and you don't have any excuses, because we're going to go down to the mat and I'm going to show you probably one of my absolute 2 favorite exercises for triceps with no weights at all to define and get your triceps all toned. That's what we're looking at today. Carrie, you better still be with me. I hope you're doing it. We've got more tricep workouts when we return.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Monica's show brings positiveness to the world. She brings positive vibes to the community, and she's in there to help everyone. I really feel this was a calling for me to come to this show and to work with Monica. I've been following her for a long time. She always has a bright outlook on everything, and the people that she brings together, that's what this is all about, is bringing people together, and this is the best platform that I could even think about using to do so.
Well, thank you, Paul, and all of the wonderful people that we have on as guests. We always love what they have to say after the show. And then you get to see some of those played out in some of the promos. If you're just tuning in, good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. Everything that we always ask is that you share, you like, you follow our pages, and send those on to your family and friends, whatever the platform is that they love most. We obviously started off with a following on Facebook, and then we just started adding from there: Facebook and YouTube and X and Instagram and Rumble, LinkedIn, etc. We do some check-ins sometimes. We've got a lot of people that were on earlier on Facebook, probably had to run off to work. So when you get an opportunity, come back to this and wrap up with the remaining exercises that maybe you didn't get a chance to do. We always talk about how many people like to watch on X, but I tell you, they're always very quiet, right? 7:54. So the show has been all about getting you up to date in what's going on in the world and then working out. So we just did 2 exercises. I'm going to do 4 for you. I'm going to show you. We've talked through this also. So you could absolutely do this entire workout in 10 minutes and be on your way and go, oh, I feel really good. I did something. Something's better than nothing. Otherwise, you can do 20 minutes and we start to add more exercises or more repetitions. Awesome. Rose said, you heard of Rosie the Riveter? Thank you, Monica the Motivator. Yeah, thank you. Carrie, I'm still here getting ready to go to water fitness class. I can add these moves on my off days. Yes, you absolutely can. So Carrie, a couple more for you before you go off to class. And if you have to run off, then go ahead. Oh, I don't need to do that. I'm going to take my other camera and I'm going to go down to the ground. I told you 2 of my absolute favorite exercises are down on the ground. So let's do this. Here you go. Over we go. playing producer and host and director today at my house. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Rose, Carrie, water fitness is the best, especially when it is RA. Oh, I love that. Yes, water fitness. I took water aerobics actually in my 20s after I came back from my blood clot. I'll tell you what, that was the most incredible shape I was ever in my 20s. I did water aerobics. I was doing Tai Chi. Anybody ever do Tai Chi before? I was doing Tai Chi, and then I was doing training at a weight training class that I had in college. And then also I would work out at the old bodybuilders that was up in the Florissant area. Okay, are you ready? So let me turn this the other way and we'll mat it up. I've got, for those of you that feel like it bothers your hips, just do what I just did. Take the mat and then fold it up and you have a little more cushion. Okay, so ready? We're going to do 2 more exercises and then we'll do our Jesus Listens book and we'll wrap up and we'll talk about our cooking event that's coming tomorrow. It's going to be so fun. I'm going to lay on my left side. So if I'm on my left side, you're going to put your right hand down. And again, what did I say before? Alignment is key. So I want your hand in line, with your chest. So your hand in line with your chest. You're going to lie down and we're going to push upwards. So I like to put my hand where we're working. Carrie asked for triceps. So we are working the triceps today. We're going to go like this. We're going to push up from the ground and back down slow. You'll be able to feel exactly what we're working today. Tell me if you feel this engage and if you feel, wow, that's really working. Oh my gosh, it's really tightening up. Yes, eventually you do this more and more and more, and that's how the arms feel. So 3, 4, do you notice I'm also keeping my legs from doing this? You don't want this happening. So I don't want the legs popping open. I want you to engage and squeeze the adductors together. 6, breathe out. 7, 8, 9, 10, taking it down, engaging the core. 11. Now, some people might say, holy cow, that's hard. I cannot get from the ground upwards. So I modify, and I'll modify for you on the other side. So for those of you that can't, I don't want you flying up and trying to bounce from the ground upwards. It's not what I want you doing. Instead, the modification would be that I would have you start up like this and have the body upright. You would go down maybe 1/4 of an inch or halfway and you'd come back up, because the most important thing is the full extension. The tricep has to go all the way up to the top of the movement. Don't shortchange yourself. I'm going to go from the ground upwards from here all the way up, keeping those legs again squeezed together so that they're not popping. What will happen is you're working your obliques. So here we go. 3, 4. Any questions? I'll look when I come back. My chest is so crazy sore from working chest and triceps the other day. 7, 8. Where am I breathing out? It's right here. 9. Why do we do that? Because you will stop your movement if you're trying to hold your breath. By the way, you could herniate yourself when you're lifting heavy weights if you don't breathe out. And 1 more. That's 15. I love those. Now, for those that want to make it even harder, you can keep your legs straight on the ground and not bent. So I was actually modifying a little bit, but I like to level up for all those that like to level up. So now I've got my legs straight out. It's kind of blocked by the chair. Let me move in here. So if you're just tuning in, we're wrapping up our workouts for those arms, giving about a 20-minute workout. So now my legs, you see, they're straight, and then I'm going to pop up from here instead of bending them. 2, and I can go faster, work my fast twitch muscle fibers as opposed to slower. Not sloppy, we're just going in a faster pace. 8 and 9, and trying to fire back up, and then we get our heart rate up a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Am I the only one working out? Y'all better work out as well. Carrie, I know, has to get off to a water class, but she's promising me that she'll do these later. And then, you know what? Send me a before and after picture. As you do these more and more, I'd love to see how everything changes. I love when people give me their progress reports, before and afters. Here we go. Watch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then stick with us because we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to take a shower after this and get ready for all these meetings. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Try those. Again, find the one that works for you if you have to modify or if you want to level up. And then one of my absolute favorites, I'm going to show you that you can do it on the ground or you can do it on a chair. Now, I would never use that orange chair that I have. This is very lightweight, spins around. That's a no-no. I want you to use a bench or a sturdy chair that you can do your dips on. But some people are like, oh, well, I don't have a chair. You can do it on the ground, but as you all enjoy nature and beautiful spring and summer days ahead, stop, walk in a park, find a park bench, and then go on that bench and work out those arms. If you don't have anything to go on though, it does not mean you can't do it. You sit on the ground, you get yourself into like a bridge movement, a hold, I should say, a bridge hold, and then you do the tricep movement. The same thing we talked about at the beginning of our exercises though. I don't want this happening with the head. Keep the shoulders back, keep the head in alignment, and then watch this. You're going to come up like this, and then you drop down and up. 2. We don't want those elbows going out, right? 4 and 5 and 6. Now we level up. 7, a leg in the air. 8, 9, or get a little stretch in the glutes. 13, 14, I'm going to go higher. 15, 16, we're going to double it up. 17, 18, 19, 20, back with both legs. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I wish I had my watch on so I could see how many calories we burn. Anybody else that did? I know Linda always likes to work out with us. Let me come back to the chair. And the triceps can be done in a chair. We've got about 48 of you on right now. So are you training with me? Anne said, I love those dips. Anne used to hate them. Anne has worked out with me for a few years, and she used to get onto the bench. And I want you to tell these real stories, right? She used to get onto the bench. She would go to drop down, and she wasn't strong enough at the time, and she would drop to the ground. I would say, get back up, get back up, get back up, right? Eventually, you're able to do it. So don't say, I'm failing. What do you do with what you consider to be failure? Do you brush it off and get right back up and you get stronger? That's what you need to do. Stephanie, my YMCA 3 times a week, I go, lost 12 pounds in 6 months. Way to go. Carrie said, yes, I feel that. So do I. And Carrie, I did this because you wanted it done today, but I seriously just did chest and tricep with my husband. We haven't worked out together in years. We worked out together a couple days ago. Oh my gosh, my chest is sore. Thank you for the tips and the exercise. You love it. Love the water aerobics. You got it. Let's see. Let me go back here. Rose. Yep. Water fitness, especially when it's RA. I think of it as playing in the water. It is, Carrie. And then do you use all the paddles and everything? The resistance? Water aerobics. People think it's only for seniors. No. I like to see men and women both get involved in that because there's no joke. I mean, you can make it as hard as you want it to be. 53 people on right now. I love it. Chat. Wait, what's that one say? What? Chai tea. Is that something you order at Pad Thai? Not chai tea, Tai Chi. Taichi. Tai Chi. That is a form of Asian. It's kind of like a martial arts. You're so silly. I love this community. You burned a hair past a freckle. Is that what I did? And you're silly. Okay. And then here's what I'm saying. I'm going to do this. Don't try this at home. I'm asking that you normally would have a chair. Hang on, folks. Hold on one second. Oh, it would be nice to have a team here, wouldn't it? This is what I'm asking you not to do. Don't use a chair that rolls. Excuse me. But the dips can be done on a chair or a bench. What's the best view for you here? Like this. So we're going to do 30 more. Here's the no-no. Don't do this. And I see a lot of guys in the gym, they're doing this small little movement and they're rounding forward. And this is exactly what's going to happen to you as you continue to do it. You're going to have poor posture. So I want this real close to the bench. Shoulders go back, chest goes up, right alongside the bench. 1 and 2 and 3. Why do I not want a rolling chair, folks? I want you to be careful because it could roll right underneath you. I am getting very tight in my core. 10. And I'm pushing against the ground, keeping that chair real close to me. 13, 14. We're bringing it home, folks. 15 more, 14 more. Look at 13 down to that 90-degree angle. 11 and 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Woo! I'm going to say that we burned, I don't know. Oh, definitely over 150, maybe 200 calories or more. Anybody put their watches on? Anybody know? I'm out of breath, I'll tell you that much. So guess what we just did? We just did about a 20-minute workout, maybe 15, because we talked through this, showed you some things, answered questions. We did a lot of multitasking that my friend Dot says you can't do. I think we did it. I think we did it well. So guess what? You got your arms done for today. Triceps. Can you continue to work out and do a little bit more on the ground? Do some abs, do some core training. Yes. Any questions on any of that? Lori Campworth started going back to the gym in March, working on building muscle and bones. Yeah, and you heard our guest yesterday. Hopefully you saw the show. Did you see the debut of the brand new painting? Thank you very much, Faith Berger. I also put that on my socials last night before I went to bed at 11 o'clock. That's why I was tired this morning. Beautiful new piece to our set, final piece we were looking for. But she was talking about being in her 70s. Can you believe that? She's just a beautiful woman and a beautiful soul. She was talking about the importance of weight training as you get older. Yes, you need to weight training for your bones, your muscles, all of that. It's very important. Carrie, we use several different things in the water, and I do a mix of classes. Aqua size, aqua tone, aqua kickboxing, aqua payo chi. Oh, I love it. Carrie, you keep going. You are well on your way. I'm glad we could take care of this for you. So I know next week, Anne is actually asking for us to talk about tight hamstrings. So here's the thing you need to know about that. Tight hamstrings lead to low back problems. Tight hamstrings can lead to a lot of issues, but if you've got extremely tight hamstrings, you're going to probably also find that you say, oh, I've got some back issues, or I've got hip issues. You probably are out of alignment. It's very important that you stretch. Do not try to get into a stretch where you are bouncing down right away and you haven't warmed up. So you don't want to just go into this ballistic stretching. We got to ease into it sometimes. But stretching is important. Rolling out is important. Yoga, those type of things are needed. And if you are always the hard charger and you're not doing those, you're going to run into issues. Rose, you are so welcome. I'm glad I give you hope. I hope you have a blessed day as well. So the blessings are bestowed upon us from the great Lord above. And we always wrap up with a devotional. So we're going to do that when we return. Yeah, I'd love to be hired for your next event. I'm telling you what, you want to raise some big money. We are very proud of the work that we do. And thank you to Incarnate Word, which you saw in some of that footage. I will be doing their auctioneering at their big gala coming up this Saturday. And last year we auctioned off this beautiful dog and it went to a wonderful family. Sometimes it's hard for me to be like, oh my gosh, we're auctioning off a dog and I hope they keep the dog. I hope there's no problems with it. I hope it doesn't turn over to a rescue. I know Jessica's not a big fan of it, but I know we're raising money for a great cause. And you just hope that the people that are coming already are expecting to bring a dog home that night. It is a golden retriever that we're going to be auctioning off of the 27 items, I think, that I have on tap for me this year. So send me some positive energy and prayers that we raise even more money than we did last year for the wonderful women at Incarnate Word. Rose, good morning. I watch the exercises while drinking my coffee and answering emails. That's just wrong. I took some notes though, and I'll do the exercises after my walk. You're welcome for inspiring. It doesn't matter when you do it. It's just that you get up and you do the moves. Okay, so Jesus is listening to us. He's also calling on us. These are books from Sarah Young. And so what is this? April 9th? Yeah, April 9th. Blessed Jesus, help me to learn about my help me learn to live above my circumstances. I realize this requires focused time with you, the one who has overcome the world. Trouble and distress are woven into the very fabric of this perishing world. Only your life and me can empower me to face the endless flow of problems with good cheer. As I relax in your presence, sitting quietly with you, you shine peace into my troubled mind and heart. Little by little, through this time of focusing on you and your word, I'm set free from earthly shackles and lifted above my circumstances. I gain your perspective on my life, enabling me to distinguish between things that are important and things that are not. Moreover, resting in your presence blesses me with joy that no one will take away from me. In your joyous name, amen. So again, Sarah Young books, Stephen Arterburn books, and when we get through those, we'll start looking into other ones. Remember, Palm Sunday coming up this Sunday. Go to church, go to brunch. I showed you at the very beginning of the show. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous on Sunday. So get outside and enjoy it. Okay, tomorrow, I'm so excited for this. We are going to debut a brand new segment of cooking. This one's going to be cooking with Mom and Mon, and then eventually those become Fashion and Food Fridays. We had to do it on Thursday because I'm super proud to sit down on Friday from St. Charles Community College. And I will be joined by Jerry Schultz. She has been asking me for a while now. We've been talking for the last few weeks about coming to St. Charles Community College and showcasing their entrepreneurial symposium, which I cannot wait for. So we're going to talk about a lot of things, but it's not just Jerry. Jerry Schultz will be joining me and John Wyman. It's the two of them joining me on Friday. And we're going to talk about your kids going to school and what they're going into and the amazing programs that are out for them. After we do the live show Friday morning, I will be speaking to an auditorium of about 150 plus. I'm hearing the registrations are going really good for this. So they still have registration underway. If you want to be really inspired in person, maybe you come to that. St. Charles Community College, the Entrepreneurial Symposium taking place on Friday. So we're going to do that for you. So that's what's coming up over the next couple of days. And then, of course, we've got some great things on tap for you next week as well. I'm thinking about starting to, somebody asked me this one time, is there anywhere where we can find where your rundown of guests will be or your topics? Yeah, stay tuned for that. I came up with some ideas before I went to bed last night of ways to do that so you can look ahead and go, oh, what's coming up next week, etc. So we'll do all that for you. All right. Thank you so much. Hope you got a lot out of today. Hope you got your workout in. We're able to do that actually with me along the way. If not, you could always come back to it. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., we are going to have an absolute blast. We are going to cook with you, and you're going to be able to take that recipe because we'll show it on the screen for you tomorrow. It is going to be quinoa and currant stuffed peppers. They are to die for. Trust me. Some black beans you'll need, some roasted some roasted tomatoes. You need some garlic. You need some onion. You need some spinach. You need some quinoa. You need obviously some bell peppers, a little salt, little pepper, some olive oil. It's fabulous. Trust me on that. And then if you're looking for a great side dish to bring to those barbecues, it's very simple. It is zucchini and some really amazing tomatoes, some basil, some balsamic vinegar, some olive oil, salt, and pepper. Simple, simple, simple. We'll give you all that recipe, everything you need to know. And a little time consuming on the pepper side, but it's worth it. The end result is it's worth it. Carrie, you are so welcome. And to everybody else, you're welcome as well. Tune in tomorrow. It's the healthy aspect of feeding the body after you do these incredible workouts. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Remember, enjoy the day. Maybe grab an umbrella because we do have some rain in the forecast or maybe even a thunderstorm. But whatever you do, show kindness. God bless you. I'll see you in the morning.